everyone, it's Colleen Kislik here with another Nature Minute, and I want to help you today to get out. Get outside. Get outside in all kinds of weather, even when it's snowy and cold and everybody else is going, no thank you, I want to stay indoors. Don't miss out on all that's out there just because you don't know how to dress well. I'm going to show you today how you can use even a little light rain jacket and be warm out at -40. It's all about the layers. So if we look at animals like the otter and the polar bear, these animals spend lots of time outdoors. In fact, their whole life is outdoors. And not only in the cold, cold, cold outdoor air temperature, but they go also in the cold water in the wintertime. And they stay warm. How do they do it? Well, we've learned from them, and we start with a base layer. So this base layer, I have my wool socks on, and they're just cheap ones from Costco. You can get a 6-pack for really cheap. They're some nylon or polyester, stretchy, moisture wicking base layer. You can buy these at Value Village, real cheap, or raid your friend's closet or your mother's. Okay, that's the first thing. Next, we need an insulating layer. What's insulating? Anything like a fleece. So all those kind of nice, cozy little zip-up hoodies or sweatshirts that you have, those are great. Wool is another great insulating layer. Down is also an insulating layer. Again, we learn from the animals. How do birds stay warm? They have a lovely down, fluffy, soft layer that they use. So we're going to put that on next. Today I'm using a wool sweater on top of my base layer for my insulating layer. It's not very, very cold out today, but if it was really cold out today, I wouldn't stop at one insulating layer. I don't like to be cold. I would put a couple insulating layers on. Because also what we've learned from animals, one of them being an owl or all of those birds that you see out there in the wintertime that fluff up their feathers, if you can trap air in between your layers, you're going to be warmer because that air is also going to insulate you and keep you warm. So I've got some extra layers on my top and my bottom. So all it takes is, girls, we're kind of lucky, leggings work fine. Guys, I'd shy away from wearing jeans or anything made out of cotton, just because when cotton gets wet, it gets cold. It isn't fun to wear wet jeans or even a wet t-shirt in cold weather. So go for something that is made out of nylon, polyester, acrylic fleece, wool. All those things when they get wet aren't going to get miserable for you. Okay, so I've got my insulating layer on. If it was really cold, I would even add one more layer of insulation because I don't like to be cold. Now, to top this all off, we need something that's going to protect us and keep us somewhat waterproof and windproof. If you look at those polar bears, they've got it figured out. They've got what's called guard hairs. And those guard hairs are hollow and they're they're tough, and they shield that polar bear and keep the wind out. And when they go swim in the water, it keeps the moisture out. So they come out of that cold water, they give themselves a good shake, and they are ready to roll in -40 and stay nice and toasty. So that's why I tell you, with the right amount of layers, my spring raincoat is going to keep me warm outside because I've got all my layers on underneath. All I need on the outside now is something that's going to be waterproof and cut the wind. Doesn't have to be expensive outdoor clothing. You can get outside with just a bunch of layers that don't cost you very much. Now, here's another little tip, also learned from the animals. When we want to stay warm, our bodies naturally help to keep us warm. They do that by keeping our vital organs warmest of all. That means taking blood away from our fingers and our little tootsies. So how do we stay warmer? Put on a hat. It'll keep your feet warm. What? Yeah, you heard right. If you put on a hat, you'll keep your brain, which is a vital organ, warm. That way your body's not going to be busy trying to send all the extra blood to your head to stay warm. It's going to have a little extra to spare for your toes and your hands. And again, we put layers on our toes. So 2 pairs of socks, not cotton, don't wear cotton socks. 2 pairs of socks is great. And a pair of thinner gloves or mitts. I like to put gloves underneath just because if I want to use my hands for something when I'm outside, I still am kept a little bit warm. And then I put my warmer mitts over top and my hands stay nice and toasty even in the cold, cold weather. Another tip, it's always handy to throw in a buff. I love these. These are great because when the wind is blowing at you, you can put it whichever way you want. It can become an extra hood. It can become a bit of a balaclava to keep just those eyeballs showing, or it can just stay around your neck. And if it gets really hot and you take your toque off and you're sweating a bit, put that on just to keep your ears warm. So it's another handy piece to have on you. So no excuses. I want you to get out. Try some experimenting with the clothes you have in your closet. Of course, a snowsuit works great, but snowsuits also get wet. So is there a way that you could maybe layer some clothes a little differently and be able to get out and have a longer time with more fun outside? Another tip, keep moving when you're outside. If you're moving, chances are you've got your blood going and you're going to stay nice and warm. So get outside and have fun and stay warm. See you later.
Woo!